But I'm headed down to Daytona for bike week. Which, oh. Adjust that a little bit there. Anyway, headed down to Daytona for bike week. And we're gonna have a good time. I just washed my bike off. And now we're headed down. So I'm just gonna speed this stuff up, but I wanted to see what it looks like. So I didn't have a chance to actually set it up before going. Let's get some of the rain off of my bike. Sorry, I don't mean to be going so fast. That's my phone right there, and there's my speedometer above it. I could drop the phone down. I'll drop it down so you can see a little bit better through this camera up here. So I quickly will discuss my vlogging setup for riding, my moto vlogging setup. You can see that's a Victor. It's a cheap camera. It's just a little cheap 4K GoPro style camera. So Chinese knockoff, but it's a very well built camera. I'm very surprised. It's like solid construction. It's metal, it's heavy. It's a heavy little solid little camera. And that's the camera facing me now. And I'll check the footage when I get down there to see if it's okay before I go through the before I head out through the down Main Street. So I make sure I get a good shot, but it should be getting my face and everything. It might be tilted up, down a little too far. Might have to adjust it. All these bikers. Push it up. There, how's that? That's probably a little bit better. I adjusted it. So now I can look and see if that looks better before I get down there. I think it was facing up a little bit too much. But anyway, so, and up here, the camera on my helmet is a DJI Osmo Action 2. This is, or Action. I think it's the Action or the Action 2. No, the Action 2 is the one that's a little cube. This is the DJI Osmo Action, the first one. After the updates, it shoots much better video and it has less issues. But I have a little adapter on the side to adapt the microphone, and then I'm using a Purple Panda microphone up underneath my chin. It's tucked up underneath there with a little Velcro strip. And then I've got a little adapter that I got off of eBay after watching somebody's video and said, you know, the audio is too hot on that DJI camera. It distorts, and I noticed it did distort with that microphone, but there's a little adapter with a little volume control so you can turn it down. So I'm going to check it out and see how loud it is and see if it sounds, but I think it actually, from the video I saw of other people using it, it sounded really good. And I shoot everything in 4K 30. I shoot everything at 4K 30, and I'm riding my my favorite little motorcycle, my Kawasaki Versys 1000 SE LT Plus is what it's called here in the United States. I don't know why they called it. Why'd they add all the other stuff? Because we don't have a Versys 1000 SE. LT is something like Touring Plus. We don't have all those different things, so I don't know why. Yeah, that guy's real genius. doing a wheelie with on a big Harley with no helmet on, right through an intersection. That guy's a genius. Look, if you're riding through the strip and you're going 5 miles an hour and you're just staying in traffic, I don't care if you're not wearing a helmet. Hell, I'm probably going to do it, ride through without my helmet on. The problem is when I'm not going to have my helmet off until I get there to the strip. So that down the main road, you're going to be doing 50 miles an hour. I'm not riding without my helmet down the main road going 50 miles an hour. If I'm going over 20 miles an hour, I'm wearing a helmet. Right? So I'm going 37 miles an hour right here, and I would not ride right here without a helmet at 37 miles an hour. You'll get brain damage if you get an accident. I kind of like my head a little too much to be riding around without a helmet on. That said, there was a recent discussion on Revzilla made a video on YouTube, and they were talking about, should helmets be mandatory? Should there be a mandatory helmet law? Yeah, whatever. That dude didn't wave. He's riding. Anyway, should there be a mandatory? See that guy? He's on a trike. He's not even on a motorcycle. I wouldn't really call that a motorcycle. Yes, technically it has a motor in it, but it's a three-wheeler that you can get off of, and it's like a car. It's like a scooter. It's not even like a scooter. A scooter you have to balance. That you don't even have to balance. And you don't lean it into corners or anything. That's really not a motorcycle. I hate to break it to anybody. But anyway, so the discussion was, should helmets be required? Should it be law that you have to wear a helmet? And my take on this is no. Motorcycle helmets should not be required. And why? See, I sit there and trash anybody not wearing a helmet going over 30 miles an hour because I think they're an idiot to go over 30 miles an hour without a helmet. But you're allowed to be an idiot in this country. It's a free country. You can be an idiot if you want to. You shouldn't stop you from being an idiot. That's your choice. You want to be stupid? Be stupid. It's not my problem if you want to be stupid. And it's not the government's responsibility to protect you from yourself. Right? So if you think about laws, for just a minute, if you think about laws, helmet laws included. Getting a little hot under here. If you think about helmet laws included, laws and helmet laws, the government's not here to protect you from yourself. It's here to protect you from others, right? I mean, is that not what, I think that's what the government is for. The government is here to protect you from others. So if somebody advertises a helmet as having, helmets have ratings on them. Well, let's go to that real quick. So helmets have ratings, right? So helmets have ratings. You're like, well, if you don't want a helmet law, then why do you want a rating? Because if I'm purchasing a product, the government's job is to defend me, is to protect me from that company falsely advertising that product as having a higher rating and having a higher quality, that thing will actually protect your head. I'm buying it to protect my head. So the government's job is to protect us from others, right? So others being the helmet manufacturers that will skimp on materials to save a few bucks on the price of the helmet. So you see what I'm saying? So technically, that's what it's for. That's what the government's job is to protect us from others, but not to protect us from ourselves. So if I want to be stupid and not wear a helmet and go down the highway at 80 miles an hour, that should be my prerogative. If I want to be so stupid, if I don't care about my head enough to put protection on it, then why should anybody else care about my head, right? It's not their job to care about my head. It's my job to care about my head, not their job. That's number one. That's the first thing. Now let's get into real quick. I want to talk real quick about after the helmet law, without helmet laws, insurance companies and hospital bills, okay? Because this has to be brought up, because this has to be talked about. So people say, well, if you're not going to have a helmet law, then Why should my insurance cover you and your accidents because you're too stupid, and now that costs the doctors all this time and clogs up the healthcare facilities and clogs up the hospitals, and causes everybody's premiums to go up. Well, it shouldn't. If you're not wearing a helmet, the insurance company should be able to deny you coverage. They should be able to, no, we're not going to cover them. And the hospital should be able to turn you away. We're like, oh wait, he wasn't wearing a helmet, does he have insurance? No? Okay. That's the choice you're made. See, you live with your consequences. You live with your choices, right? If I choose not to wear a helmet, I should understand that right off the bat, if I'm stupid enough to not wear a helmet and I get in a wreck and I get a massive head injury, I'll probably die because I'm not going to rely on the rest of society to take care of me. And I shouldn't rely on the rest of society to take care of me. That was my choice. It's not their choice. The government's job is to protect us from others, not from ourselves, and that includes all the people that go to the hospital and pay and do the right thing and are smart. The government should protect them from having to pay for my hospital bills because I was stupid, right? Doesn't that make sense? To me, that makes perfect sense. I'm going to lower my screen. I'm going to pull over and lower my screen, and I guess I won't right now. I'm fixing to get off anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna go down the strip first. I think that's what I'll do. I think that clock is wrong. I can't see my clock. Yeah, it's 11:49, not 12:40. My clock needs to be reset, so it's almost 12. So I'm gonna go down 100. I didn't think about this, but I'm going to go down 100 to A1A and take the scenic trip so I can relax. Because I don't want to ride down the highway the whole friggin' way. That's not what I came to Bike Week for, to ride down the highway, right? I came to Bike Week to ride down. I should have went down the back way, which is the way I usually go. But I'm going to vent my jacket because it's kind of hot. I got the vents on the arms and everything, but I need the vents on the jacket too. I'm gonna pull over and do that, and then wait until I get to the strip and start recording again. Until I get to A1A. I'm gonna go all the way down A1A, which is the nice road by the ocean. And we'll talk to you guys in a bit when I get to the ocean. Alright, so we're back again. And this time I'm on the beach side. So I'm taking off. Anyway, I'm back on the beach side, rolling. But anyway, so that's my thought on helmet laws. So that's why I'm against, it's not protecting kids. I could see if you said, okay, look, what we want is helmet laws for any kid under, if you're going to be on a motorcycle, any kid under, any person under the age of 18 has to wear a helmet because we got to protect kids. I'm fine with protecting kids, right? The kid, it's not the kid's fault the parents are irresponsible, right? So we need to. I'm not against laws and stuff like that. I'm a libertarian, but I'm not completely against all laws. That's just ridiculous. I forgot to drop my windshield down. I need to pull over and drop my windshield down. It's a little too hot to have the windshield up full blast there. Plus you're looking into the windshield the whole time, which is, it's fine, but I'm gonna check this footage out and see what it looks like before I continue going once I stop. But anyway, yeah, I'm a libertarian, but I'm not against all laws. I think we should protect kids. The government's job is, like I said, to protect you from others. So that includes kids, protecting kids from irresponsible parents who are going to, throw them on a motorcycle without a helmet, without gloves and jacket and stuff like that, and just not care if their kid falls off and dies or gets in, brain damage from an accident. I mean, come on. You got to be a little bit smart. Well, you don't have to be smart, but that's the government's job, is to protect us from others, not from ourselves. So I completely disagree with helmet laws. I disagree with seatbelt laws too. So there's a new one. I have a lot of people go, what? How could you disagree? How could you think people shouldn't wear a seatbelt? I don't think they shouldn't wear a seatbelt. I think they should wear a seatbelt, but I think it should be their choice to wear one. They're in their own car. They're not. If I'm not wearing a seatbelt, I get in an accident, I'm not hurting somebody else. And then again, I think it should also go back to the insurance, right? Insurance in the hospital. So the insurance, they can tell if you were wearing a seatbelt in an accident. So I was in a car accident. I was in an accident in my truck, and I had a bruise across my shoulder where I had the seatbelt on. It saved my life. So I am all for seatbelts because they save your life. But I'm against the government forcing you to wear a seatbelt because they feel like they need to protect you from yourself in your own vehicle. I mean, that's, again, pretty stupid to me. It's pretty ridiculous. Not stupid, it's just ridiculous. Damn, I'm starving. I should have got something to eat this morning. But anyway, now that I'm done with this little rant of different stuff, look at this. This is where I live. I live like, it only took me like 5 to 10 minutes to get here. And I tell you, I've lived in a lot of different places. I lived up north. I lived in Virginia. I lived in Roanoke, Virginia, on the mountains. I lived in the mountains. I lived in northern Georgia. I lived, around Atlanta. I lived everywhere. This is my favorite place to live. But I understand. Here's the thing about living in Florida. You got two choices to live in Florida. Either you pay a lot and live in the country out in the middle of nowhere, and it takes you forever to get everywhere, and you're not near the beach, and you're not near anything, the ocean, and you're not near anything, and you pay a lot, or you pay even more and you live closer to the ocean. That's the two choices. Either that or you live in a complete a dump, because there's no in between. There's no, I want to live fairly close to the ocean, but I don't want to pay a lot of money, and I want to have a decent place. That's not happening. So it's too expensive to live close to the ocean unless you have some money, or let me change that to go to the third option. So my house, for the amount of money that I spent for my house, I could have gotten a much bigger house, say inland or in Georgia or someplace else. Like, I could have got a much larger house for the same price that I paid for my house. But I paid for the convenience to be close to the ocean, and have a nice house with a swimming pool. You gotta weigh your options and balance your options, and that's how you end up with what you end up with. I like those lights that were on that guy's handlebars. That's kind of cool. They were up here on the handlebars off to the side. That was pretty cool. Makes it easy to see them. I'm all for easy to see, making people easier to see. So many bikes. Look at all the motorcycles. Everybody stopped off at the cafe and stuff. It's going to be real busy here, so I'm glad I didn't eat yet. I'll wait and eat after I ride around for a little while. Anyway, this is A1A that I'm on right now, and A1A goes all the way from Jacksonville, all the way up north of Jacksonville, all the way down to Miami. So this same road, you can follow it. It's the intercoastals on my right side. The intercoastal waterways over on my right, and on my left side is the Atlantic Ocean. So that's the Atlantic Ocean over there, and on the right over that way is the intercoastal waterway. So it's intercoastal is also salt water. That's where I go fishing, on the intercoastal. And what I like about this part over here is there's not any hotels directly on the beach. They put the road right on the beach. I turned my audio down, it's too loud. They put the hotels on the right, on the other side of the road, and then you got to cross the road to go to the beach, which is actually nice because it keeps the hotels from being right directly on the beach. I like that on the Gulf Coast, but it doesn't make for a pretty uncluttered beach look. Like, see, the beach is, there's nothing to the right. There's no big hotels in the way. The other day I was on my way to work, and I was going up the highway, and there was a traffic jam, of course, and I looked, and on the other side of the road there was a big Dodge truck or some kind of, I couldn't see what kind of truck it was. It was a big full-size truck, Dodge or Chevy or Ford or something, and it was pulling a boat, and it was on fire. The truck was completely engulfed in flames. It was on fire completely. I was like, holy mackerel, look at that truck. The guy was standing outside beside the truck, and I'm sure he was like, oh, you know, he's probably worried that the fire engines won't come and put it out before it gets to the boat, because it'd be one thing to lose the truck and another thing to lose the truck and the boat because of a massive fire. Holy mackerel, that would suck. That would really suck. My truck caught on fire and I lost my truck and my boat. Oh my God. That'd be an insurance nightmare, wouldn't it? Was it a boating accident? No, it caught on fire. On the water? No, it caught on fire because my truck caught on fire and caught the boat on fire on the side of the road. How do you explain that one out? So this is High Bridge Road right here where I go. High Bridge Road, this is where I usually go and take a nice little trip around and go kayaking and stuff down there. Wonder what's going on. This guy stopped in the middle of the road. I was talking to one of the guys at work, this older guy, and he was talking about Harley Davidson, and how they're not, you know, the parts aren't made here anymore. Like, a lot of parts on them are made in China and stuff like that, and in other countries, Taiwan or whatever, which is China. But anyway, he was talking about it, and he was saying how Harley riders are mad, and I told him that they actually, Harley Davidson has these new bikes that they're coming out with that are basically Chinese bike. They're a Chinese motorcycle. They're like little sport touring, but little adventure, dual purpose bikes. Not adventure, but like little dual purpose motorcycles. And they're actually made in China. And then they put the Harley Davidson name on them and put them in the showroom. And he was like, well, how in the hell could they do that and all this other stuff? And I got to thinking about it, and it's a lot like guitars. Okay, see if you can follow me with this, because I know it's going to get complicated. So Fender and Gibson, you know, and Yamaha, guitar manufacturers, they have their American made brands, or their like Yamaha's a Japanese manufacturer of the guitar. Now the Japanese version of the Yamaha, say the Yamaha Revstar, that's the guitar I bought. I'm still waiting for it. But the Japanese Yamaha Revstar is like $2,000, right, for the Japanese version. But then they also have an Indonesian version that looks just like the Japanese standard version. Looks the same. They changed the color a little bit. They did a little bit of color changes, but basically it's the same guitars, stainless steel frets, everything. But it's Indonesian version, and it's $800. Now, they also have I don't know if it's Indonesian or South Korean version or whatever, but they've got like the standard, like the beginner version, and it's like $500. So because Yamaha comes out with and Gibson and Fender and all do this, but because they come out with a rebadged, you know, it's just basically they put their name on, they had it made to their specs, but it's made in a country where the labor's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot cheaper for material and stuff like that, Indonesia and South Korea and stuff like that. Because they did that, does it make the more valuable guitar less valuable? No, in fact it doesn't. It gets more people in the door to buy the guitar, and gets more people buying their guitars, and then they have something to strive for. So if you bought the the basic version for 500 bucks, you might go, well, you know, if I had a little bit better one, I like this guitar, but I wish it had stainless frets, and I wish it had the other features that that next model up has, the one that's made in Indonesia, that's $700, $800, right? So it costs twice as much, but it has more features and it has more things to it. And there's more options. It comes with P90 pickups also. You know, you can get a different version. So they gave you reasons to want to upgrade to the other version. So it didn't make the value of the Japanese one any less. Gibson does it with their Epiphone, right? And Fender does it with their Squire and their American Strat, and then they got the Mexican Strat, and then they have, you know, they have lower quality, lower value ones that are not any less of a guitar, but they're made in other countries. But you can get the American version, but it's going to cost you quite a bit more for the American version. Now, because they come out with those other guitars, did it make the American ones any less valuable? No, they're still valuable. So technically, Harley could follow the same exact principle as the guitar manufacturers, because it's in the same type of thing. It's for a thing for pleasure, or so a lot of people use transportation, but I don't see it. I mean, yeah, but most people don't buy Harleys as their daily drivers. I mean, yeah, you can, but you know, most people ride them on the weekend. So there's no reason why Harley couldn't do the same exact thing. And I don't know why the Harley riders are getting mad. You didn't see the Fender and Gibson and Yamaha people get mad because they came out with an Indonesian version of the guitar, did you? I didn't. I never saw anybody get, you know, oh man, why do they got this Epiphone version, this cheap knockoff? It's not a knockoff. It's, you know, it's just a cheaper version, and all you do is you just look and you find so you can pay for the American version of a Harley, you know, or buy the cheaper Chinese version, you know, and then everybody would know, well, that's the Chinese version. It looks similar to the American version, but it's not the same thing, you know. I don't see what the problem is with that. They need to do something to survive, because let's be honest, the Harley riders are getting older, right? The guys, a Harley motorcycle is for an older person. If you look around, you'll see most of the Harley riders, yeah, you get these guys in their 40s, you know, that ride around with no helmet and think it's cool still, but you're getting a lot less of them and a lot more of the older riders that still look back at the glory days of Easy Rider and how cool it is. You see a lot of gray hair, you know, Harley riders. I do. Harley riders and Goldwing riders ride together a lot. And it makes sense because they're both the old retired type of people. There's nothing wrong with that. That's who rides. But the problem is Harley Davidson is starting to lose customers because those older people have already gotten them, and the people that are that age have already gotten them. The younger people are not wanting to buy cruisers. They want to buy what I'm driving. That's what the younger people want. You don't get, the motorcycle sales in general have gone down rapidly. Like, so a lot less people are buying motorcycles at all. Okay, so I'm back, and this time, now I'm closer to Daytona. There's Daytona right up there. So that just thought I'd turn this back on and start recording. My daughter called, and I didn't even realize that I was sitting here recording the whole time, my entire conversation with her. So anyway, so there's the Pirates Cove Adventure Golf Place right there, and I'm coming down. Somebody tapped on their helmet because they had cool little bike. Somebody had welcome bikers. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Why are this guy walking without a shirt? Oh, okay. That's what they tap their hats on for, these motorcyclists right here. The cop, somebody tapped the top of their helmet. They hit the top of their helmet to show that there was a cop ahead. Oh, they already got somebody pulled over, so I didn't really even need to worry about that. Anyway, so I'm going down. I'm still on A1A. I'm coming down. There's Riptides. They're pretty good. I ate there once, I think. But headed down here. Please pull up. Thank you. Main Street, motorcycles only. This is what it's supposed to be. Motorcycles only. Alright. I'm going to make another trip down through here because you guys didn't get a chance to see it because my cameras died. So I took my earplugs out so I can hear the music without having it so loud so that you guys can hear it. But I'm making another trip down through Bike Week here. I mean, I've been down here a bunch of times, and people like to park and go to bars and all these places, but I don't care for all this stuff. I don't like bars. I just don't. I don't like bars, and I like motorcycles, but I don't really care for, I mean, I like live bands. Jamming out to a band over there. I like all that. But I don't like getting drunk at bars and stuff. So my GPS is telling me to turn a different way, but I'm not doing it because I'm going this way. It's telling me to turn around, which I'm going to do up here. I'm going to go up here and turn around. I just wanted you guys to see Bike Week. For a change. Kilm, I like his Kilm shirt. Yeah, see, I'm gonna turn around, but I'm gonna come back through here again. Burgers and stuff, but there's long lines. I don't feel like waiting in a long line and hanging out down here. There's the naked cowboy. I'll come back by and let you see him. Let you guys see what this is like. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down here, turn around, like the same way I went before. This guy's waving us, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go down here for a few. Oh. Well, I went through. I don't feel like doing it again, so I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna cut this way. I'm gonna follow my directions because I don't feel like going back down through there. Yeah, it's a bunch of motorcycles and all, but I don't feel like going there. I just don't feel like it. It's just sitting still going past a bunch of Harley riding guys. There's a lady with a GoPro on a stick up there. See it? Yeah, this is cool and all, but I like to actually ride my motorcycle, not sit in traffic in a long line and rev my engine. That's not what I really enjoy doing. I'd rather actually ride it. I like to ride my motorcycle when I go for a ride. So see, these people are going 50 miles an hour with no helmets on. They lost their mind. I would not do it. I just wouldn't do it. There. Sorry, I had to speed up. Oh, by the way, this thing's pretty quick. It's not the fastest bike out there, but it's a Ninja 1000 basically, so it's not slow. Any of these bikes are fast. That Z900 is a badass bike. Oh, ZX1000. Yeah, Z900 and ZX1000. Sweet. Cool. Cool ass bikes. I like those. I'd love to have one of those. I'd like to have that little 900. ZX1000's cool, but I like that little 900 in the back better. I just like it better. It's not that I think it's a better bike. I just like it better. I like the size of it. I like it's cool. There's that Grom with the guy and the girl on it. I'm gonna do a little bit of vlogging there. I'm just trying to see what it's like. I'm gonna put on a stronger ND filter and do some vlogging with this camera while I'm walking around because it's quite bright out. I probably should have changed the ND filter before I got going, but I'll do it when I stop. I'm fixing to stop up here. I don't know about you, but if there was ever a problem and I laid my bike down, I damn sure wouldn't want to be wearing shorts and a t-shirt with no sleeves and have no protection. I like my skin. I was in a car accident and my arm got tore up. My left arm got all freaking trashed. And I was in a car. So there's the Harley tent. The Harley thing, I wonder if they're doing any rides today. I'm at least gonna go in there and check out the Pan America. All right, see ya. I don't know why it's ringing. Things freaking ringing the whole time in my ear. I've got this. Really? Good spot right there. I don't feel like being right between them. Freaking phone's ringing the whole damn time.
For those 230 riders out there, as you make your way over to the driver's room area, make sure you bring all of your protective gear with you. We can do a gear check before we get out. All riders and passengers must have a DOT or smell averting helmet. Must have long sleeves, long pants, closed-toed shoes, and you must be wearing gloves when you're out on the job. If you don't have any of that gear, just let us know when you get over to that driver briefing area. We will hook you up with some other gear for the ride. Again, you're signed up for that 230 demo ride. Please make your way over to the driver briefing area.
Yeah, we already got carbon fiber. We operate that we cannot have a carbon fiber.
I like this one right there.
I cover all board.
That's the replacement of my bike. Just different colors, basically. Same thing, just different colors. I don't like this gloss right here. I don't like this gloss. See, it shows fingerprints. I don't like the gloss paint at all. I like my paint better. I just went to the Harley Davidson behind the Harley Davidson area and saw the Pan America, the one that I like. And the only thing is to get the one that I like, the only one that's comparable to my bike with the hard bags and a quick shifter. So basically the equivalent of my bike, it's like 22 grand, 23,000, 22.99 or something like that. If you're looking at 23 grand, that's like $8,000 more than I paid for my bike. And mine has all those features, so I can't see myself getting one of those unless they drop the price. And they're not going to drop the price. It's Harley Davidson. Unless I get one like that's a year old, like in 2024. And then what's the point of just getting the same bike that I have? And they'll probably put adaptive cruise or something on my bike, so I don't see the point. Hey, check this out.
As the smoke is rolling right there, Casey Curry burning the house down. Here we got something special here. Look at this, some bicycle action.
I like this. What's up, man?
Water control, go ahead and play with that a little bit. Get used to it. Alright. Alright, now stop getting used to it. I'm going to reset them all. When I say go, you're going to go. If you don't hear me say go.
So now you get to see what this looks like. So I came over looking for her two wheels. She was supposed to be by the, she said she'd be at the Rever booth, but I didn't see a Rever booth anywhere. So I saw this Amsoil and Honda. I saw the Honda booth. I didn't see a Rever booth. So I looked all over the place over here and I didn't see it. I walked all the way down here, unless it's over there and I didn't see it. But I didn't see the thing over there. I was looking for, not that I wanted to meet her or anything, I just thought, well, I may as well go over and say hi, and then I saw her on YouTube. She's a YouTube lady. Maybe it's a Rever. There it is. I see it now. She's over there. Well, it's too late. She was going to be there for like an hour at 2 o'clock, and it's 3 something. I missed it. I didn't see the Rever booth until just now. It's all the way to the right, past Dancing Hines. Either way, she probably took off and went riding somewhere. I mean, I got nothing against Harley rider. There's one that's smart. That's a nice jacket too, the Harley Davidson jacket. So I'm headed up now. Hey, there's a Crystals. I should have went to Crystals. I gotta get home anyway. I gotta get back up to get back home. It's been a nice ride out here to Daytona this year. But I'm gonna head back now and edit this video and upload it. Watch out. I don't want to see no motorcycles getting a wreck. I hate seeing that. I've seen a few motorcycle accidents over the years. I was on my way to work one day. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about this. If I even include this, we'll see. I was on my way to work one day. I was riding my bike. I used to ride my bike to work all the time. I don't ride it to work very often now because it's like a 50-minute drive on the highway, and I don't want to drive 2 hours a day on the highway. I mean, it's boring. It's not boring on a motorcycle, but it's boring in general, which makes it not enjoyable on a motorcycle. It's not terrible. It's better than riding in a car, but it's still not where I want to ride my motorcycle. I don't want to ride my motorcycle up the highway. I mean, that's the last place I want to ride my motorcycle. I don't mind it. Like, some people are afraid to ride on the highway. I'm not afraid of the highway. I've spent a lot of miles on the highway. Girl's about to fall off the back of that damn bike. Anyway, there was a car in front of me, so he couldn't come back around me, so he passed that car, and then I saw him swerve real drastically over, like cutting between the two cars. And what he did was he leaned it too drastic. He was trying to show off, and he went off onto the median, and he hit that gravel over there, because on right past that line, it's always gravel. You want to stay off of that side of the road. There's gravel and loose dirt there, always. But he hit that, and his bike spun sideways and went flipping across the road, went flying across the highway, and he spun across the highway. I saw him just flying through the air and sliding across the highway. Like, holy crap. And he was on the right-hand side over there. So I immediately slammed on my brakes, got over to help him, you know. So I pull over, and I go over there to find out, and he's walking around with his helmet on, and he takes his helmet off. And he was fine. Thank God this guy had a helmet on. But his pants, the back of his jeans, the whole ass was tore out of him. He had road rash on his ass. I mean, the whole ass, one side of his whole ass was tore off. And he had fingerless leather gloves, and his fingertips were so bloody he couldn't use my phone. I said, you want to call somebody? You want to call your wife or something? And he said, can you call it for me? I can't dial, because my fingers, all his fingertips were like bloody, and they were painful. So wear gloves with fingers in them, because he was like, damn it, why didn't I get, and he said, damn it, why didn't I get the gloves with fingers? That's exactly what he said. I mean, word for word. He actually said, damn it, why didn't I get gloves with fingers in them? Because it's not that, it doesn't hurt to have fingers. Get these kind here that are breathable, they're ventilated, you know. They got knuckle protectors and just some kind of protection. I probably need some new gloves, because these are old. These are got yellow and it's fading out. I need some that match my jacket, white and red, and black, white, and red. Anyway, so needless to say, he called his wife, and I waited. The police came, the truck came. His bike was totaled, but he was just shooken up, but he was alive. It's because he had a jacket on and a helmet on. He had a jacket like that Harley Davidson jacket, like it was like a mesh jacket with padding in it, like it was like a built jacket or something with padding in it. It was a decent jacket. It was like a $250 jacket, something like that. It was a decent jacket with pads in it for the shoulder. He said he would have scraped his jacket. The elbows were scraped off of one side of the jacket too. So his arm would have been all scraped up if he didn't have that jacket on. Or broken.